So again, my name is Chris Nichols. I'm with Capital Public Radio. Tell me your name, if you would.
Gary Wesley. I'm an attorney from Mountain View, California.
And how do you spell your last name, Gary?
Wesley.
And Gary's Gary.
Right.
Okay. And you're a private attorney in Mountain View. And why are you here today?
Well, I've been tracking Wiener's bills for a couple of years. He had 827 2 years ago, turned it into SB 50 this last year. He's now made some changes, but we view the changes as described, at least in the newspaper, as lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. It still doesn't get to the bottom line, which is you have to have housing for people that can't afford it, and none is guaranteed under this bill. And you don't want to have high-rise housing, high-density housing in every single-family neighborhood if you have an alternative. And you ought to be looking at where you let corporations set up and have adjacent housing available for those new corporate employees and not move them into every existing neighborhood.
So I'm wondering, you mentioned Mountain View and mentioned single-family home neighborhoods. There are, a lot of those on the peninsula. Is that a concern in neighborhoods that there'll be just these residential towers that will be built and it'll change the nature of those neighborhoods?
Well, it will. So they're proposing that there be fourplexes, so houses could be turned into that. We could go up about 5 stories without any affordable units, go up even higher with some so-called affordable units, which are really units below market enough to capture some of the middle-income, lower-level people in the corporations that are really behind this measure. It's the big tech corporations that want this because they want to be able to set up shop anywhere they want and then establish high-density housing in that neighborhood.
There are a lot of Californians that live in neighborhoods that are set up at suburban-style neighborhoods. So what is the concern there? What is the fear about this bill? What would it do for a neighborhood like that?
So it would increase the density. It would have people towering over you if your next door neighbor sold. They might combine several lots. It also doesn't allow the local government to require much on-site parking, and so people will be parking on the streets like they do in San Francisco in parts of it. And so people are concerned about the quality of life. So they understand that we need housing, but we don't need it in high-rises next to everybody's single-family home.
The last thing I wonder, are you working with any city governments, or are you just working with Livable California? Or
I've only been in touch with Livable,
okay.
So I'm not working with
I'm wondering if you can comment on the juxtaposition or the different groups that are opposing it. You have these smaller suburban cities. You have what we saw here today, groups right here in the urban center also opposing it. Is that surprising to you?
So single-family homeowners have something in common with people that are looking for affordable housing, and that is this bill would only hurt them. It doesn't help them. And we need an alternative that actually creates affordable housing, not just a trickle down so they can go higher in the sky.
So they have a shared concern.
That's right.
Okay, fair enough. Gary, nice to meet you.
You too.
Thanks for taking some time.